the channel, everyone. I took a week off. Now, I recorded the video of putting the Cena together onto the helmet last week. But you know what? I decided I was going to take a week off. I talked to some guys. I said, you know, I'm just not feeling editing this week. And I felt like at that point with this hobby, if I forced myself to do it, I was going to despise it. So I decided, nah, you know what? We'll just wait a week. So here we are, 1 week later. I appreciate you coming by. We passed 1,500 subscribers easily last week. I thank every single one of you that have come by so far. I'm looking forward to future growth. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button. Turn it from red to gray. Give me a like, a comment. Now back to you, Bob. So I've got my front vent open right now, and I'm intentionally testing this at 60 miles an hour plus, just to see what kind of intrusion the wind has on the mic. I've also almost completely fixed the audio that I complained about in the video. That video actually should be released today, so by the time you see this one, it's either going to be Wednesday or Sunday of next week. I'm not quite sure yet. This depends on when I get around to editing and publishing it. I have a very big head. I'm sure you've noticed that before, or maybe it doesn't quite look so big because I'm so fat it's hard to tell. Just by comparison. You might be wondering, Mike, how does that have any impact on the sound quality of your Cena? Well, I'll tell you. So the way my head is big is it's very round, and it's tall. On top of my head, it's tall. So because my head is tall, the helmet doesn't go down as far as maybe it does on some other people. What that caused is for the drop-in speakers to be about an inch above my ear hole, like sitting on the top of my earlobe. So I wasn't getting any sound directly into my ear. So what I ended up buying was some earplug style monitors. I watched videos, Fortnite videos, some other videos out there, and I said, you know what, I'm going to give these a try. I bought the version 1 with one driver. These guys were 60 bucks on Amazon, and I am really impressed with the sound of these things. So what are we doing today? I'm sorry that sounded so deliberate and cheesy. I don't know. I don't have a plan. I didn't ride all week, not one time. Today was supposed to be tropical storm or tropical depression or whatever the hell it is, Fred. And he steered pretty clear of us, but we were still expecting a lot of rain today. Since it's not raining, it's nice and overcast, so it feels really good out. I'm just going to go around. We're going to go around Tampa a little bit. Maybe I'll do some sightseeing pieces. Somebody asked me in a video. Now, I get all kinds of comments and suggestions. Not as much as a big YouTuber would, but I get enough to where, you know, people, they have an influence on what I do. One person, so it's not even like an overwhelming response, but one person said, hey, you should mention some things as you go around. People are interested in that. Maybe they are. So if you are, we'll take a look at it. Maybe we'll stop and get some lunch in a little bit. Not sure yet. A lot of this ride for me, I'm testing various things on my Cena. I don't know a lot of the voice commands. I'm going to figure those out. I've been testing the voice sensitivity of the Cena and Siri on here. I'm afraid if I say those two words too often, they're going to pick up on something that I don't want. I did try a piece of a conversation with my wife, nice and loud. And last week everything was loud. Everything sounded great in the GoPro side of things, but just in my helmet I couldn't hear shit. My phone call with my wife just now was super loud. I had to turn the Cena down. That's the first time I've had to turn it down so far. But the music, the reason why I said earlier that I haven't fixed it completely, the music was a little muddy. That's not the Cena's fault. It's not the earplugs fault. That's my ears' fault. I have to, yes, I clean my ears. I'm not a heathen. Well, I am a heathen, but that's different. I have to go get my ears cleaned by a doctor every so now and then because my body just decides, hey, you know what? We're going to make your head like a human fucking candle and just build up a bunch of wax. It's just is what it is. It's gross as shit, but that's how I was built. All right, so first stop in the great tour of Tampa on the Bollywood Cruiser. Raymond James Stadium. Considering the majority of my viewers are in India, I don't really think anybody gives a shit about American sports. I really don't. And I would go up closer to it on the other street, but I got two things here. On the left is Raymond James Stadium, which is where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play. That's last year's Super Bowl winner. And on the right-hand side, we have George Steinbrenner Field. George Steinbrenner was long associated with the New York Yankees. The Yankees do their spring training down here every year. All their games are in that little stadium there. And when the regular season starts, we have a local minor league team, the Tampa Tarpons, that play in there. And that is good, cheap family fun, man. We can take, it's like $6 a ticket. And that, it's pretty much anywhere in the stadium. So I can take my whole family for $30. And you get in there, the beer's like $5. It's not the $15 beers, blah, blah, blah. This is the area of Tampa that has all the strip clubs. If you want to go see some cheap American titties, now's your chance. Actually, some of these around here are fully nude bars, which... So here's the thing about nude bars. I don't know if there are nude bars all over the world. Actually, I do know that. I went to one in Thessaloniki, Greece back in 1998. So there are nude bars everywhere around the world. But in Tampa, Florida, most states that have fully nude bars, if you're fully nude, you cannot serve alcohol. Ugh. You don't have to have alcohol to have a good time. But if I go to a titty bar, I can get a cold beer to go with it. Cold beer and titties, man. There's just nothing more American than that, in my opinion. Not one thing more American. You can't name me one single thing that's more American. Man, if you don't catch, I'm being sarcastic there. I don't know what to do. We're going to start testing some voice commands. Hey, Cena. Give me directions to MacDill Air Force Base. Okay, Cena doesn't like that. Hey Siri, I need directions to MacDill Air Force Base. Hey Siri, give me directions to MacDill Air Force Base.
Getting directions to MacDill Air Force Base.
I changed...
Proceed to Southdale Maybury Highway, then turn right.
Okay. I changed my voice for Siri to an Indian lady. Look, so I normally use Google Maps, and I think I'm going to start giving Apple Maps a more legitimate go. Here's why. Well, one of these days I'm going to have my phone up here, mounted on the bars, but for now I don't. One thing that Apple Maps does that Google Maps doesn't do, unless I just don't know what I'm doing, is it also displays your next step on your watch. Hey Siri, stop navigation.
All right, done.
Okay, nice. All right. So where are we at in Tampa? We're in South Tampa. This is a weird melting pot of, you're just coming out of some of the lower middle income class people directly into the heart of some of the richest people in all the Tampa Bay area. It's a crazy mix down here. On this side of the street, as you go a little bit further down, there are some wealthy mother farmers down through there, and there are some not so wealthy mother farmers. Straight ahead of me, that other way that I'm turning around from, is the Air Force Base, MacDill Air Force Base. For those who don't know about MacDill Air Force Base, that's where CENTCOM is, or U.S. Central Command. Big operations, Schwarzkopf back in the first Iraq War, they did all their strategy, planning, and implementation of operations from right back there.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Cancel.
There's nothing to cancel.
Okay. There's also some places on South Howard, some nice restaurants and some bars and stuff that people hang out at. There's a different vibe on South Howard than there is in Ybor City. Ybor City's like your regular, I'm just gonna go get fucked up crowd. I'm okay with that crowd. South Howard is the I need to be seen on South Howard crowd. You do you. That's not my crowd. Don't be fooled by the rundown look of some of these places. A lot of these places are top shelf. I am lost, by the way. I mean, I have a general idea of where I'm at. Like, I'm not so lost that I'm gonna die down here. You know what I mean? Bayshore Boulevard. This is also where they do Gasparilla every year. You'll see some of these homes, man. People taking walks. I don't know what these houses cost. I don't. But it's a lot more than I'll ever have. Unless you hit that subscribe button. Oh yeah. Yeah, these are individual homes. These aren't hotels or businesses. Nah, people forked out some heavy fucking bread to live in these places. Look at that. I'm not jealous. I'm happy for them. I told my wife one day we'll get a house like that. She said, hell no, who's going to clean it? The thing is, if we can afford a house like that, I could probably afford servants or something. I don't know. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful views. And it has really convenient access to downtown. Hey, surprise, round the corner, here we go. Tampa downtown, do-si-do. Oh, here's our convention center. So any Comic Cons or anything like that, they're going on in here. All these buildings, like over here, this Marriott, all these are high dollar, man. They cost a lot to get in there. They're surrounded by high dollar condos and everything else too. All right, let's find our way to Amalie Arena. You see all the Tampa Bay Lightning flags? Oh, there it is. We're going right past it. So this is where the Tampa Bay Lightning play, if you follow hockey at all. Not the global stage, but the National Hockey League. You know that we won back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. That's their home team. I've been going to games for the Tampa Bay Lightning since 2000 when I first moved down here the first time. Back then they were really bad. They couldn't win 20 games per season. That year I think they actually did win 19 games. They were really bad. The good thing about them being really bad is that you could come get tickets from scalpers on the street. Good tickets for less than $20. So yeah, you're bored. It was an excellent date night, you know, because there was bars right across the street. Have a couple drinks with a girl or whatever you choose. All right, next up, the Florida Aquarium. This is a pretty cool aquarium. If you watch the video of my grandson's second birthday, we spent the day at the Florida Aquarium. Me and my family. My mom was there. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. Alright, so where I ended up stopping here is, man, my beard is out of control. I didn't put any balm in it this morning because I knew I was going to be riding. I stopped at a coffee shop here in Ybor called the Blind Tiger Cafe. They've got a couple of them around town. What I'm doing right now kind of reminds me of, man, when I was 21, 22 years old, back in the Marines, we'd go to little towns like Greenville, North Carolina, or other college towns, and we'd party there Friday and Saturday nights, and usually we'd find somebody to hook up with and stay at their place. It just is what it is. And then Sunday morning was always that the town is quiet, completely dead out. We'd find a little coffee shop and just sit there, I don't know, just conversation, whatever, before we hit the road back to wherever it was we were going. Doing this here this morning kind of reminds me of that era. Obviously I'm 100 years older than I was back then, but does take me back. Anyway, I'm gonna finish up this espresso here. I'm gonna chill here for a few minutes, then we'll get back on the road and catch some other sights. We'll see you out there. well, I had initially intended on making a little bit more of this video. God, turn this bathroom light on behind me and open the door so I had more light, but it closed. I really do like this helmet and this Cena quite a bit. There were a lot of times on my way home in this video where I wasn't recording audio. I'm really impressed. I actually rode to work today. Today's Wednesday, by the way, so we're a few days after the ride. I'm in my yellow shirt, but I rode today. I did a bunch more Siri commands through the Cena on the way to and from work today. Made phone calls, started music that was in my library, started music that wasn't in my library already. So it's a really good experience. So my world is changed riding now. I'm spoiled. Anyway, I appreciate you coming along for this one, and until next time, we'll see you later.